Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I got a Restring an LTD. It's an F250 LTD with the Floyd. So made in Indonesia, ESP LTD. I'm not real hip on this body shape, although I am kind of a heavy metal dude. I think the problem is they make a very cheap bolt-on version of this guitar that I absolutely hate. So, okay, let's look and see what's going on in here. It's pretty much decked, so we'll get to that when we get to it. Let's loosen the strings. I don't think it's gonna fall any further. Yeah, it's already decked all the way down. So that should make this a little bit easier. And then with my very same tool that I have, let's get in here and let's just loosen them right here. Good. And then I'll snug them back down so that they don't fall out. After the string comes out, pull the string out and then snug it back down a little bit. There we go. We'll leave that off for a minute. Set that right there. Clean a little of this dirt and dust off of here. And then I always take my 10mm wrench and I just make sure that these are nice and snug. Don't over tighten them. If you over tighten them, there's a chance you could crack the finish. So, okay. Those are nice and tight right there. It's coming along. Clean the fretboard a little bit. Yeah, this is just a customer's Restring. If this was my guitar, man, I'd polish these frets till they were new looking. But on a Restring, you know, you can give a little extra once in a while. I can tell these are jumbo frets. These babies are nice and tall. And look at that. We got some dirt off of there. Take a little bit lemon oil and just keep cleaning the fretboard. Let this stuff soak in. Just shining it up a little bit. You always want every guitar to come out looking better than when it came in. This has the EMG HZ pickups in it, so I believe those are the passive EMGs, no battery needed. Today's string joy. Okay, so I believe we are ready. Today's strings are Ernie Ball Power Slinky 11 through 48. All right. So I got the strings on here. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to look at this neck and see if it's flat or if it's over tightened. Oh yeah, it's over tightened big time. So I'm going to loosen up this neck a little bit. The truss rod in the neck. I'm not going to loosen the neck. I'm going to loosen the truss rod. Oh yeah. Much better. But we'll leave that truss rod cover off for a while. Okay, so I actually went back on one of my old videos that I did about drop B tuning. And here's what we got here as far as the strings. So the low E string, it's down to B. The A string's at F sharp, B, and then E, G sharp, and C sharp. So let's see what we can do here. We got our low E string. And it's at B, okay, and then our A string goes to F sharp, and I already had it there. Our B string goes to a B, Then what ear? I had it pretty close, but I wasn't sure. G sharp, yeah, there's G sharp. And then C sharp, yeah. We got it pretty close. But I had to make sure. I went back and I actually did a video on this drop B tuning a couple of years ago. And I actually had to go back into my old video and watch it. There it is. So, drop B tuning. Man, that low string's just barely hanging in there. So I guess I'll try to stretch them a little bit. Okay, there's our low B string. Our A string's tuned to an F sharp. Our D string is tuned to a B. Our G string is tuned to an E. B string is a G sharp, or an A flat, I guess you could call it. C sharp on the high E string. Okay. Let me look at the neck one more time. See if she's relatively straight. It's got a little relief in it now. So I'm going to snug it back up just a little bit. There we go. Oh, hold on, make sure it's in good. There we go. Now I can put the truss rod cover back on. It only has a single screw holding the truss rod cover on. And it's stripped out pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to lay these back on here, but I'm not going to tighten them down. And I put them off and took them off in the same order so that the same one goes back on in the same place, because sometimes you have a longer bolt on this side, or the screw's longer. I guess they're little bolts to compensate for having a taller string. Okay, so now you know what? This fine adjusters, I can see the E string is down as far as it will go. So I always like to level these fine adjusters out so that you have room to move those, because you don't want to lock everything down and not have any adjustability there. Okay, so because it's not floating, it's in a good position. So this is almost like stringing up, you know, a regular Fender style. Okay, so I'm looking at this, trying to get it to play good, and I've noticed that the A string right here, this saddle is lower than the E string saddle and even the D string saddle. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is switch these two saddles around, because this one's short, or maybe there's a shim under it or something. So I'm gonna take these two apart, and I'm thinking I have to swap these two around. Okay, I think that made a huge difference So sometimes, you know, that's all it takes for the average guitar player. I know, you know, most of you guys, you change your own guitar strings. And sometimes it just takes that one thing that gets somebody discouraged, and they feel like they don't have the time to do it. And that could be one of those things. It looks like we're at a better radius now. I think that was easy enough to pull off there. But again, sometimes it's just that one thing that will force a guitar player to, you know, bring his guitar into the guitar shop to have it worked on instead of doing it himself. You know, sometimes that's all it takes is one little crazy thing like that. So.